Besides, I'm just a waste of space, isn't that right, Vernon?
Come on, Dudley, we're off.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 deleted scenes that should have been in the movie.
Why don't you get me another drink? He'd have to listen to you, wouldn't he, little guy, huh?
For this list, we'll be looking at movie scenes that were left on the cutting room floor, but would have improved the overall narrative. While some of these scenes later surfaced in extended cuts, it's hard to believe that they were excluded from the theatrical versions. A couple of spoilers for some scenes that did make the cut. Which deleted scene do you think should have been left in? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Annie's Blind Date, Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids features a revolving door of comedic talent, but one prominent wedding guest got left off the list. Between her hookups with John Hamm's Ted and romance with Chris O'Dowd's Nathan, Kristen Wiig's Annie would have gone on a date with Paul Rudd.
I take it you watch the show.
I do watch the show. I was on the show.
What?
I was on the show.
You were on the show? I love that show.
Yeah,
oh my God, how did I miss your episode? Which one was it?
It didn't air.
Ironically, Rudd's character appeared on an episode of Hoarders that never aired. Rudd is his usual charming self until he overreacts to an injury. He thus goes from Paul Rudd to Paul Rude.
Put a little pressure on it, it'll be fine.
Why don't you put pressure on your face, huh? Put it on your face, because I don't even need you to help me out. God! Oh, God, now my elbow killed.
Director Paul Feig explained that while the scene was funny, the film was running long and Annie already had multiple love interests. Although not integral to the story, Rudd's presence would have been a hilarious highlight. We were also deprived of a cameo from the underappreciated Sarah Baker as the nurse.
What happened? What happened to you?
My shoulder stinks.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Hey,
Get it? This is
no,
bleeding.
Sir, can you sit down?
It's bleeding.
It's
bleeding.
All right, I see it, sir.
Shut up.
Number 9. Stairway to Heaven, Almost Famous. For this semi-autobiographical film about Cameron Crowe, Led Zeppelin allowed the writer-director to include 5 tunes: Bronner Eyre, Misty Mountain Hop, The Rain Song, Tangerine, and That's the Way.
Your name should be Spencer, and mine will be Jane.
I can't keep up with you.
Oh, no one can.
Unfortunately, Crowe couldn't get approval for Stairway to Heaven. Crowe nevertheless shot a scene where William plays the rock ballad for his mother Elaine, played by Frances McDormand. And we mean the whole song. Although this could have dragged on, the lengthy scene is a masterclass of atmosphere and silent acting.
There's no way you can turn and escape the strange oddity of what you're doing. You know, in front of you is Frances McDormand playing a version of your mother. Behind you is your mother.
Without saying a word or even leaving the couch, Elaine goes on a Tolkien-esque journey of discovery. While the scene was included on the DVD, viewers had to play the song themselves. This has inspired YouTube edits integrating the song into the scene as Crowe intended. Number 8. Thank You, The Devil Wears Prada. When Emily blanks on a name, Andy comes to the rescue, leading to a sweet exchange between the coworkers.
It's Ambassador Franklin, and that's the woman that he left his wife for, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Ambassador?
Miranda. Fabulous.
Very kind. Thank you.
In an alternative take, though, Miranda would have said thank you. In this version, Miranda's husband drops in, insulting his wife and her boss. Again, Andy saves the day, prompting Miranda to mouth 2 words we didn't think were in her vocabulary.
It's a very little-known fact. In fact, the 2 of them went to university together, and John and my father were great friends. But it's not as complicated.
Over a decade after the film's release, this moment sparked a heated online discussion. The scene would have changed the movie, but would it have strengthened it? Hot take, but we'd argue yes. Although Miranda is an ice queen, her husband is like fire. This is one scenario where we could imagine Miranda showing vulnerability and fleeting gratitude, adding another dimension to her dynamic with Andy.
I mean, what if I don't want to live the way you live?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
Number 7. Regina Reconciliation, Mean Girls. At the spring fling, Katie reconnects with her friends and Aaron. There was one conversation that we were waiting for that never came, at least in the finished version.
Seriously, most people just take the crown and go.
And a piece for Regina George. She fractured her spine and she still looks like a rock star. Thank you.
In this deleted scene, Regina confronts Katie as she arrives at the dance. Katie apologizes for the whole bus incident, among other things. Regina accepts the apology in the most Regina way possible.
I'm the one that got hit by the bus.
Well, I'm sorry about all the other stuff too.
Okay, I'm going to forgive you. Because I'm a very zen person.
At the time, Regina acknowledges that there might have been fault on her side as well. Regina dissects her actions through a dollhouse analogy, summing up her character in a nutshell.
You begged your mom to let you keep it?
No, I threw it down the stairs. I smashed it because I didn't want anyone else to have it. But that's just me.
It brings closure to Katie and Regina's rivalry, leaving them on a surprisingly nice note. Not too nice, though. The bus didn't knock all the mean out of Regina. Number 6. Take a Knee for Tony, Avengers Endgame. For longtime MCU fans, the climax of Endgame is about as perfect as one could hope for.
And I am Iron Man.
However, the third act could have been even more perfect with this addition. Following Tony's last words with Piper, we cut to his funeral where his friends and family are present.
Everything's gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to. I love you 3,000.
Originally, these moments would have been bridged with the heroes on the battlefield gathering around the deceased Tony. One by one, the Avengers, Guardians, and other heroes take a knee, the exception being Gamora, who slips out. Although the Russos found the scene, quote, incredibly emotional, they felt that it was too similar to the ensuing funeral.
We really want to bring that same experience to the audience. We want them to feel the fullest range of emotion because we feel like that creates the most complete ending.
We think this powerful moment was just different enough, though, especially thanks to Doctor Strange's reaction as he reflects on the only way. Number 5. The Dursleys Depart, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1. We understand that a lot of moments from the Harry Potter books had to be cut from the movies for pacing reasons. However, this omission perhaps hurts the most, especially since Deathly Hallows was split into 2 movies.
I still don't understand why we have to leave.
Because it's not safe for us here anymore.
Before leaving, Aunt Petunia provides a glimpse into her relationship with Harry's mother, showing that there was love behind the animosity. Although this moment is a new addition, it still brings out a sympathetic side of Petunia that the books got across.
You didn't just lose a mother that night in Godric's Hollow, you know. I lost a sister.
Meanwhile, Dudley's reconciliation with his cousin was an unexpected highlight of the book, calling back to Harry saving him in Order of the Phoenix. Readers didn't know that they wanted Dudley to be redeemed until it happened.
I don't think you're a waste of space.
Thanks.
For filmgoers, Dudley's arc remains underdeveloped. Number 4. Sarumans Death, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Sauron might be the big bad, but for the first 2 movies, Saruman is the villain that we spend the most time resenting.
The power of the enemy is growing. Sauron will use his puppet Saruman to destroy the people of Rohan.
Following his defeat in 2 Towers, we looked forward to seeing Saruman receive a satisfying death. To the disappointment of fans and Christopher Lee, Peter Jackson cut Saruman entirely from the 3rd film. This scene, originally shot for 2 Towers, was included in the Return of the King Extended Edition.
You withdraw your guard, and I will tell you where your doom will be decided. I will not be held prisoner here.
Yet it's baffling that the theatrical version cast such a major foe aside. Jackson explained, quote, "It felt like we were finishing off last year's movie instead of jumping in and setting up the tension for the new film."
The filth of Saruman. is washing away.
Oh, really? Then why did you open Battle of Five Armies with Smaug's downfall? Number 3, Hero or Menace? I Am Legend.
Neville, they're just running here. Come.
They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop. Stay until dawn.
This film's theatrical ending sees Will Smith's Robert Neville sacrifice himself to save humanity, going out in a blaze of glory. Neville survives in the alternate version, but this ending is much bleaker and more complex. Neville finds that the Darkseekers aren't senseless monsters, but a thinking species that has inherited the world. Suddenly, Neville sees himself as the boogeyman that the Darkseekers have come to fear.
Open the door, please.
What are you doing?
I'm listening.
In the source material's spirit, Neville is a legend, but not in a triumphant sense. Neville was given a more heroic exit due to negative test screenings, but history has come to prefer the alternate ending.
I'm sorry.
It appears the recently announced sequel will right this wrong, as the alternate ending will be considered canon with Smith returning. Number 2, The Unicorn Dream, Blade Runner. Although now considered a sci-fi classic, Blade Runner was initially met with a mixed reaction.
She's a replicant, isn't she?
I'm impressed. How many questions does it usually take to spot one?
I don't get it, Tyrell.
How many questions?
20, 30 cross-referenced.
Part of this can be attributed to studio interference, as director Ridley Scott was forced to make numerous changes. Among the most notable omissions was Rick Deckard's Unicorn Dream.
I dreamt music.
I didn't know if I could play.
This symbolic scene ties into one of the film's biggest questions. Is Deckard a replicant? The dream pays off in the last scene, where Deckard finds an origami unicorn, leaning toward him being a replicant.
It's too bad she won't live. But then again, who does?
Without the dream sequence, it always felt like this mystery was missing a crucial puzzle piece. 10 years after the film's release, Scott revived the unicorn fantasy for his director's cut. The full version of the scene was also included in the 2007 final cut.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Ripley's Daughter, Aliens. It sounds odd, but Aliens may be the best Mother's Day movie ever made. Beyond the action, the film is about parenthood, with Ellen Ripley coming to view the orphaned Newt as her daughter.
Get away from her, you bitch!
This theme would have been made even more poignant if the theatrical version included this moment. Restored for the special edition, the scene sees Ripley learn that her daughter died while she was drifting through space.
Age 66. And that was at the time of her death, which was 2 years ago. I'm real sorry.
Where Ripley hasn't aged, her daughter lived to be 66. Ripley missed reuniting with her daughter by 2 years. Even if Ripley had gotten back in time to say goodbye, she still wouldn't have kept her promise to be back by her 11th birthday.
I promised her that I'd be home for her birthday. Her 11th birthday.
Having lost one daughter, this only intensifies Ripley's need to protect Newt.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.